All right, hello and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Glenn, where we get Glenn, off the stage. He's blabbing all the time, on radio and television, so we can see him blab some more. But it's good to get him off the kind of the stage and scripts and everything else, and just kind of check in and see what's going on in his life. So
we were talking about how you've got an upcoming trip to New York.
Yeah.
Now, you often say, I think you have a love-hate relationship with New York.
I love New York. And I hate New York. Yeah, so I think that would be a love-hate relationship.
What do you love about it?
I love New York because it has everything. It has the best of the best, no matter what you're looking for, 24 hours a day. I mean, you name a city in the world besides, Berlin, where you could say, I need lederhosen, and in 45 minutes, you got a pair of lederhosen that fit me.
Valid point.
Yeah.
You can get whatever you want, good or bad, and the best of the best. And so the culture of New York is great. But then you also have the misery index of being in New York, and the people. Some of the people are great. Some of the people are just miserable people.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
How have your kids adjusted? We were talking about that because when they were real little, they did live in New York for a bit, and now they're in Texas, and that's a pretty big culture shock. Have you seen changes in them?
Out of the 4 of them, 5 with an in-law now, my son. So 5 out of the 5 of them, only 2 want to go back.
And we can guess which 2.
You got it.
Have your kids adapted to the yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir culture?
I was
in Texas?
just with.
That's different down here than everywhere else.
I was just with somebody last night. We were at the Billy Joel concert, and I'm talking to him, and he had just gotten yelled at by a woman. We went to go get something at the concession stand, and he said, "Yes, ma'am." And she's like, "I'm not old enough to be called ma'am. Don't call me ma'am." And he's like, "Yes, okay," and walked away. And he was so awkward because he's very polite. And he's like, "I was raised in the South. I always say ma'am." And he said, "Man, women are in the South. You used to be able to get away with it. In the North, you would get a little hostile." He said, "Now they just think that's so offensive." He's like, "I was raised that way. I like it."
Your kids had a Southern thing before they moved here that I had never heard. Your little ones would say, "Hi, Miss Tiffany," or "Hi, Mr. Dan." And that's something I'd never heard of. And when I came down here, everyone does that. So you instilled that to them.
Yeah, because we have so many people, they're always around everybody in the company and everything else. And I didn't want them calling people Dan or Tiffany. "Hey, Tiffany." You know what I mean? But everybody's so close to the family that I also didn't want it to be,
Too formal.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, so Miss Tiffany. And
Good hybrid.
Yeah.
We also were talking about that most people have like a 7-year itch. You get this 3-year moving itch. So we're coming up on that, and we wanted to know if you had, after 3 years in a place, you always move.
Yeah,
Where did you get this? Seriously, wait. Where did you get this? Have you heard me talking about this week?
No,
but
we were just talking to each other yesterday about it.
Look, you got to look at your background. You were in radio.
Oh, no.
So you were constantly
This is bizarre
moving.
you're bringing this up.
Why?
So, well, we just had thought about it because, from, Florida to Philadelphia, then to New York,
Connecticut.
then
So
down
I was
to here,
talking
then
to
Connecticut.
Falma.
So
You know
Okay.
Falma.
it's been a while.
I was talking to Falma, and I said, "Falma, you got to help pray me through this." And she said, "What?" And I said, because of my childhood and everything, every 3 years, you just kind of move on. And I said, "I cannot move. I can't move on here." And I said, the strongest urge to just sell my house, let's go. I've talked to Tanya. If it wasn't that I bought a movie studio and I had to move, 300 people with me, we'd
It's
be
crossed
living.
our minds too.
Yeah,
we were
we've been
glad you
living
bought this
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, we'd be living in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yes. No, I know. And
That was
see,
my
this
guess.
is why, when we just moved down here a few months ago, and we were like, well, should we rent a house or buy a house? And one of the big factors in that decision was, will Glenn Beck move? And this studio, that anchor there was kind of like, well,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
gave
see-
us
I
a
don't see-
little.
I think that can contain the moving monster that is Glenn
no,
Beck.
it is.
So
The
I
studio,
said it.
buying the studio was the best thing for everybody's not wanting to move gene.
Good. Well, we figured Arizona, San Diego. Those were really our two big ones.
San Diego, no, because California. I just can't live in California. But I would live in Napa Valley, or if I could live in anywhere in the country, it would be California.
if California went to a 10% flat tax or no state income tax, I think I could be tempted into moving into California almost overnight.
No, I can't. I mean, I drove by in the wine country and I saw what they're doing to the farmlands with the water, and nobody's really standing up for those farmers. I couldn't live around those insane people.
What if Rick Perry goes to California and wins the governorship there
How about
somehow?
if we resurrect Ronald Reagan?
Right.
I mean, think of that.
Yeah.
Think of that.
It was a
That's when I was
Republican
growing
state.
up. Ronald Reagan was the governor of California, so I was growing up. That's the era that I first started formulating in my mind. I want to live in California.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So this was a pretty cool week. We did the State of the Union. We did a great civil rights show. Give us a highlight and a low light for you. I think I know your low light.
Tell me my low light.
The scale. You're very upset about it. It's not like these people don't read your Facebook posts.
Yeah, I was at the doctor today. I'm a sprinkler. They've taken so much blood from me.
Well, that'll be weight loss.
Yeah, and after this, I know. That's what I did say that to him. How much weight do I lose on this? I got to go back after this interview. I got to go back, and they're going to poke me through for more holes.
Do they know what it is?
They don't know what it is yet, but they're like, and they actually made my wife come in for verification. They're like, and they looked at me. And they're like, okay, you're not eating, you're not binging, you're not sleepwalking.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm not. And they looked at me. Okay, all right. And then they just slowly looked at Tanya, and she's like, no, he's really not. I'm like, wait a minute. But they're like, there's no way you can gain that much weight so fast. There's no way.
We haven't gained any more, right? In a week?
No, I have not gained anything this week.
Well, there's
which is good. Which is good.
Have you been going out to like the smokers' courtyard? Are you like trying to, the old adage of smoking loses weight?
Can I tell you something? I honestly thought, cocaine? Can we get some cocaine? I lose weight on that. What's it gonna take? Because I thought this last week, because the week before last, I gained another 4 pounds. In a week, I gained 4 pounds.
That is an addict's rationalization, isn't it? Wow, I'm really gaining weight. I could. I was pretty thin.
I was thin when I was on cocaine. So I gained 4 pounds, and I thought, and none of my clothes fit. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do if I gain another 4 or 5 pounds next week and another 4 or 5 pounds the week after? I'm just going to be, and I told Tanya, I said, I don't care if I have to wear a zipper sweatsuit on television. I am not buying any fat clothes at this weight. I am not doing it. So if you happen to watch an episode and I'm just in a big sweatsuit, that's the best I can do for you right now.
And now give us a highlight. Give us something good this week.
I didn't gain any weight.
We'll take it.
Yeah.